Late-night confession. Young Hyun Woo breaks down in tears while talking about Hyun Woo, fans in shock. For weeks, the world has watched the love story of young Hyun Woo and Hyun Woo swing like a pendulum between pure magic and heartbreaking chaos. From their fiery public argument in the rain that nearly ended it all, to the silent moments that hinted at reconciliation, fans have been left wondering where the truth really lies. But last night, the truth finally spilled out. And it came not through a press statement, not through carefully crafted social media posts, but through tears, raw, unfiltered, and painfully real. The midnight interview. At 11:47 p.m., on a live stream that began quietly with barely 500 viewers, young Hyun Woo sat before the camera. No makeup. No stylist. Just him, a plain white hoodie, and eyes so swollen it was clear he'd been crying long before the recording started. At first, fans assumed it was just another Q&A session. But the moment he opened his mouth, the mood shifted. "I don't know how much longer I can hold it in," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I need to tell you what's been eating me alive." The livestream chat exploded instantly, viewers flooding in by the thousands, hearts pounding as they sensed something monumental was about to unfold. Tears that shattered the silence. For a long moment, Hyun Woo sat in silence, his hand covering his face as tears slipped through his fingers. When he finally looked up, his expression carried the weight of a man both broken and desperately in love. "I'm scared every day," he admitted. "Not of him. Never of him. But of what this world will do to us. Hyun Woo gives me so much strength, but sometimes I wonder if I'm strong enough for him." The words hit like a tidal wave. Fans who had only seen fragments of their fights, the arguments, the distance, finally saw the truth. Hyun Woo wasn't pulling away out of lack of love. He was drowning in too much of it. The confession that stopped the internet. Then came the words that would be replayed millions of times within hours. "Do you know what hurts the most? It's not the headlines. It's not the hate. It's the look on his face when he thinks I don't want this anymore. The truth is, I've never wanted anything more in my life. Hyun Woo, if you're watching this, please, just know I'm still yours." By this point, Hyun Woo could no longer hold back his sobs. His shoulders shook violently, his hands trembling as though the weight of the confession was too much to bear. The livestream chat erupted with messages. "I'm crying with you, Hyun Woo. This is the most real thing I've ever seen. Hyun Woo, please hug him right now." A flashback that broke everyone. In the midst of his tears, Hyun Woo shared a memory that silenced even the most cynical viewers. "Do you remember that night on the rooftop?" he asked softly, speaking more to Hyun Woo than to the fans. "It was freezing. You took off your jacket and wrapped it around me even though you were shivering. And you said, 'I'll freeze before I ever let you feel cold.' That night, I believed I could face anything with you. I still believe it. But lately, I've been so afraid of letting you down." The rooftop memory spread like wildfire across social media, fans posting edits and artwork within minutes, turning the intimate story into a rallying cry for their love. The twist that left fans breathless. And then came the unexpected twist. Just as Hyun Woo wiped his tears and prepared to end the livestream, the screen flickered. A new username appeared in the chat. It was Hyun Woo. At first, fans thought it was fake. But then the message appeared. "I'm watching. I've always been watching. And I'll never let you go." Hyun Woo's breath caught. His lips parted in shock, his tears freezing midstream. For a moment, he looked as though he couldn't believe it himself. Then, with a trembling laugh that broke into another sob, he whispered, "Hyun Woo." The live stream ended abruptly, the screen going black. But the damage, or rather, the miracle, was already done. Fans react. By morning, Hyun Woo confession and Hyun Woo reply were trending worldwide. Millions of fans re-watched the shaky livestream, dissecting every glance, every tear, every whispered word. Some reactions. "That wasn't an idol speaking. That was a man in love, begging not to lose it. We all cried with Hyun Woo last night. This is history. This is not just a love story anymore. This is survival." Others speculated whether the sudden blackout was intentional. Had Hyun Woo ended the stream out of shock, or had Hyun Woo himself stepped in behind the scenes? what this means for their love story. This late-night confession has changed everything. For weeks, fans speculated that their love was cracking beyond repair. The argument in the rain had been painted as the end. But now, the world sees the truth. Junmo's fear was never about love fading, it was about love burning too bright. And Hyun Woo's reply, as short as it was, reignited hope. His words, "I've always been watching. And I'll never let you go," will go down as some of the most iconic in the history of modern romance. The future no one can predict. Where do they go from here? That's the question burning on everyone's lips. Will Hyun Woo appear publicly to embrace Junmo after his tearful confession? Will the two finally face the world together, unashamed, unafraid? Or will this confession mark the beginning of a quieter, more private chapter in their relationship? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: last night's livestream has forever changed the narrative. The love story that once seemed to be unraveling has now been stitched together with something stronger than ever: vulnerability. And for fans who cried with Junmo, who whispered Hyun Woo's name into the dark right alongside him, this is no longer just a love story they're watching. It's a love story they feel they're living. Closing scene. Picture it. Young Junmo, sitting alone in a dimly lit room, hoodie damp with tears, staring into the cold glow of a screen. Behind him, a city asleep. In front of him, millions of strangers, watching, listening, aching with him. And somewhere, perhaps just blocks away, Hyun Woo, staring at his own screen, typing the words that shattered the silence and stitched their hearts back together. "I'm watching. I've always been watching. And I'll never let you go." That, dear readers, is not just romance. That is history. Late-night confession. Young Junmo's tearful breakdown leaves fans breathless. The night was heavy with silence before young Junmo broke it. The digital clock on his desk flickered 11:47 p.m., and while most of Seoul slept, he pressed the go live button with trembling fingers. No lights. No glamour. No stage. Just him, his swollen eyes, and the unbearable weight pressing down on his chest. The quiet beginning. The live stream opened without music or fanfare. At first, only a few hundred fans tuned in, expecting maybe a casual Q&A. Junmo wore a simple hoodie, his hair messy, and his skin pale. His eyes gave away the truth long before his lips did. This wasn't going to be ordinary. "I don't know how to start," he whispered, glancing down at his lap. "But if I don't say something tonight, I don't think I'll survive tomorrow." Fans instantly flooded the comments. "What's wrong, Junmo? We're here. Talk to us. Don't cry, please." But the tears had already started. Tears he couldn't hide. His hand shook as he tried to wipe them away, but the harder he fought, the faster they came. His voice cracked with every word. "You've all seen the rumors. You've seen the clips. The fights, the distance, the pain. But you don't know what happens when the cameras stop." He paused, covering his face for a long moment. The silence was deafening. Fans could hear his ragged breathing, the sound of someone carrying too much for far too long. When he finally looked up, his eyes glistened with vulnerability. "I'm terrified. Every day. Not because I don't love him, but because I love him too much. The weight of the world." With every word, Junmo peeled back layers the world never thought he'd reveal. People think being in love is just smiles and laughter, but with Hyun Woo, it's more than that. It's fire. It's gravity. It's everything. And sometimes I feel like I'm not strong enough to hold it. He broke off, clutching his chest as though the emotion itself physically hurt. His tears spilled faster now, dripping down his chin. "What if I ruin him? What if the world takes him away because of me?" Fans flooded the comments with hearts and messages of reassurance, but Junmo's voice drowned them out, trembling but unrelenting. The rooftop memory. Suddenly, his tone shifted, softer, nostalgic. "Do you remember that rooftop night?" he asked, though it was clear he was speaking to one person, Hyun Woo. "It was freezing, and I couldn't stop shaking. You wrapped your jacket around me, even though you were colder than I was. And then you looked me in the eyes and said, 'I'll freeze before I ever let you feel cold.'" Junmo's lips quivered as he let out a broken laugh, immediately swallowed by another sob. "That night. I believed we could survive anything. But lately, I've been so scared. Scared that one day, I'll look at you and you'll finally see how weak I really am. Fans typed frantically. No, Junmo, you're not weak. He loves you because you're you. Hyun Woo would never leave you. But nothing could stop the flood pouring from his heart. A confession to the world. Junmo leaned closer to the screen, his eyes bloodshot, his voice trembling. The truth is, I've never wanted anything more in my life than him. Not the fame, not the stage, not the lights. Just him. And it kills me that he looks at me now and thinks I don't want this anymore. He choked on his words, his body folding in on itself as he sobbed openly. It wasn't the polished pain of a celebrity masking heartbreak, it was raw, human, and devastating. Hyun Woo, if you're watching this, he whispered, barely audible, please, just know I'm still yours. I've always been yours. Fans break down too. By this point, the chat was a storm of emotions. Fans were crying along with him, typing messages so fast the screen couldn't keep up. One viewer wrote, I've never seen an idol be this real. This is love. This is pain. This is everything. Another typed through sobs, Junmo, you don't need to be strong. Just be with him. Clips of his confession spread instantly across platforms. Within minutes, hashtags like #JunmoConfession and #StillYoursHyunwoo began trending globally. The power of silence. But perhaps the most haunting part of the livestream wasn't the words, it was the silence between them. Every pause, every time Junmo's voice cracked and he pressed his palms against his face, the world seemed to hold its breath with him. Even through a screen, fans could feel the weight of his loneliness, the battle he was fighting against himself. One fan perfectly described it afterward. It wasn't just a confession. It was like watching someone rip open their chest and show us their heart still beating. The cliffhanger. As the livestream drew on, Junmo's sobs grew quieter. His face was streaked with tears, his hoodie damp from wiping his eyes. He looked utterly exhausted, but there was a strange peace in his final words before the screen went black. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. But tonight, at least you all know. At least he knows. And just like that, the livestream ended. The shockwaves. When the broadcast cut, fans were left in stunned silence. Social media lit up like wildfire. Clips of Junmo crying, his voice cracking as he confessed I'm still yours, were replayed millions of times before dawn. Some called it the most vulnerable moment of his career. Others called it the most beautiful. But all agreed on one thing, this wasn't just content. This was history.